There is no doubt that Governor Palin attracted a lot of attention this week. She's been on the minds of all of you, and as a consequence, has been before the American people constantly for the last week.
Palin Watch. How many controversies can the governor's candidacy survive? As mayor, her police chief wanted to charge rape victims for their own rape kits. As governor, she charged the state per diem for every night she spent in her own home. And how many lies can the governor's candidacy survive? Brought back today on the campaign trail, the distortion in which she claimed she fired the governor's executive chef.
I thought it was important also as mayor and governor to try to lead by example. I cut the personal chef position from the budget, which didn't thrill my kids.
Except the governor didn't fire that chef. She simply reassigned her to a different job title while she continued to cook for the governor's kids. What exactly is the strategy here?
Thanks, but no thanks for that bridge to nowhere up in Alaska. If our state wanted a bridge, we were going to build it ourselves.
Again, she said that twice today. The problem is that every major news organization that has looked at this has reported that, in fact, Palin's claim is false. The Washington Post reported that in Palin's first 19 months in office, she billed taxpayers in Alaska for 312 nights she spent in her own home.
And tonight, well, we have a moment of psychotalk validation, confirmation from deep inside the gut of the McCain campaign that Srah Palin truly belongs right here, just about every night. McCain's former campaign manager, Steve Schmidt, has revealed that they knew from the beginning that making Palin a viable candidate was an uphill battle.
My GPA earned me 5th from the bottom of my class at the Naval Academy status. So
in the immediate aftermath of her selection, it was clear to us that we had a lot of work to do.
What sort of information did she not know?
A broad scale of national security issues.
John Heilemann, one of the authors of the new book about the 2008 campaign, was more specific.
Her foreign policy tutors are literally taking her through. This is World War I, this is World War II, this is the Korean War. A week later, after the convention was over, she still didn't really understand why there was a North Korea and a South Korea.
You've cited Alaska's proximity to Russia as part of your foreign policy experience. What did you mean by that?
That Alaska has a very narrow maritime border between a foreign country, Russia, and on our other side, the land boundary that we have with Canada. It's funny that a comment like that was kind of made to, I don't know, you know. You can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska. Reporters. Yeah, mocked, I guess that's the word, yeah.
Wow. Understandably, the guy in charge of prepping Palin for the vice presidential debate was very concerned.
He told us that the debate was going to be a debacle of historic and epic proportions.
But the fact that Palin knew less about foreign policy than the average middle schooler wasn't even the biggest problem. No. Turns out she couldn't even say Biden's name properly. You know, the guy that she was going to be debating. She kept saying, "Oh, Biden." So the campaign figured out a way to avoid her having to say that very tricky name at all.
It was multiple people, and I wasn't one of them, who all said at the same time, just say, "Can I call you Joe?"
Nice to meet you. Hey, can I call you Joe? Okay,
Doggone it, those Republican tactics, they work every time, don't they? Unfortunately, when you're dealing with a maverick like Palin, you can't expect her to stick to the plan all night.
Barack Obama and Senator Biden, you've said no to everything.
Well, there you have it. With all that working against her, why didn't John McCain put his foot down and just cut Palin loose?
President Bush was a C student at Yale. So, do you remember your GPA?
But I can assure you, on today's standards, it would be barely passing.
The thing McCain loved about the Naval Academy was he got to study all the time. He and I both showed that people with C averages can succeed. Welcome.
We needed to do something bold to try to win the race.
That's right, win at all costs. What does that say about John McCain's leadership? His motto, let's see, what was it? Oh yes, country first. But he didn't have the guts to get rid of the person his own campaign knew wouldn't be good enough for the country.
As Putin rears his head and comes into the airspace of the United States of America, where do they go? It's Alaska. It's just right over the border.
One more thing. We found out today that Palin just signed on as a contributor to Fox News, which means we'll probably be seeing a lot more of her right here in Psycho Talk.
You can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.